Hi, I'm Rich, and I build stuff. And this is Dreadnought Redux Part 48. So, last time, I went over just some work I did on this. I also showed you the work that goes into just one of those little chairs right there. So, what we've got here this time, as I try not to overwhelm the mic and this camera here, is yeah, some work that I've done on adding one of the final rooms and just evening out this bit here. So here's an interesting one for you. Apparently the wardroom and the gun room were like different officers' eating rooms. Just figured that was interesting. Yeah, so one of the things I've had to do along with work on yeah, okay, it's a little long for an intro, but one of the things I've had to do along with, working at, where do things go, is actually like, what do different terms mean? But that's neither here nor there. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get this going. Okay. In case you didn't see it, I got these quote-unquote shelf units, and I want them to have shelving. How do I add this? Well, there we go. What I do, I'll just try to bring this a little closer to the center. Off camera, I'm just going to dip this in some of that nice tacky super glue. And then I'm going to shove this in there. And then, of course, as I'm starting to shove it in there, the camera's out of focus until, there we go. Thankfully, it zooms in right when I'm, putting the finger on. I think it's some, like, zoom feature with the camera that does that. Oh, well. The other reason this is a normal speed, but me talking over it, is I talk about something I don't think YouTube would appreciate. Namely, how important it is to spay or neuter your pets. Let's put it that way. Yeah. All right. Got it. Yeah, that's about how I added these shelves. So I just, kind of roughly cut where these were, sort of accounting for the fact that these are at angles relative to the strip, and super gluing the strip in. That's how I do that. And now the battery runs out. Yeah, the battery ran out while I was trying to record something else. But you'll see me doing a little bit of trying to modify a piece there of that shelving. Basically cutting it in half and then messing with it accordingly. So you'll also see lower in the YouTube picture me just listening to YouTube while I do this. That's what I do. I just listen to things online, and then there you go. I don't think that'll pick up anything. I mean, I can't see clearly what it was. And then, of course, I flip it over to get it out of the camera view. Alright. Anywho, so as you can see, though, yep, I'm just folding up lots and lots of photo etch and putting them on that masking tape I folded onto that card. Now, the reason I use the blue masking tape is so I can stick things in place, and then it'll act as a way to hold it down. And when it's holding it down, that way I can airbrush on it with relative ease and move it around without manipulating it and damaging the paint. Really? Like, this is the second one of these I've broken tonight. Let me just state for the record, I have a ridiculous amount of hate for rattle can primers. Actually, next time I'm in a hobby store, I'm going to look for the airbrush version of this. I think it exists. But, sometimes you just got to use something, and this is actually not done too bad. Of course, all the directions are in Japanese, so guess I just gotta wing it, like all good things in life. That's definitely going to be sticky for metal. Alright, so as we can see here, excuse me, burp. Besides the burp, we have the airbrush, we have these guys, and we have some primer. I'm going to take a quick check of this to make sure this has been mixed properly with thinner. I'm hoping it is. Oh, that's a bit thick. Okay, try to cut 50-50 primer to thinner. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to add a little bit of primer. Now, there is leveling thinner. That actually probably work a little better with this application. Leveling thinner is a little more expensive, but it does seem to make things a little more even. So I'm going to go ahead. Just a little bit there. There we go. I'm aiming for 50%. Doesn't mean I hit 50%. Just means I'm aiming for it. Aiming it kind of... why is all the humor I can think of political these days? I'm going to stop right now before I say something dumb. Alright, so that's a bit thinner. I think that'll do a lot better. Load a bit of this up here into this thing. I got it set at about 12 psi. You want to set the... I learned a while back, like from my first results with this, that you want to set the pressure kind of low. Yeah, so I set the pressure low because I found that whenever I set it high, it was like as if like a rough dust kind of thing happened on whatever I was priming. So here I am just priming everything now, and as you see, for this airbrush session, I've gone to got a time lapse. So you'll see me cleaning it out. Then I end up just taking a bit of masking tape just to mask off different areas of this kind of backed, if you will, painting area from each other. The idea being that way I can, paint things that need to be white, paint things that need to be green, green. And I just took that brush to see if I could wipe away any obvious hair. Now that is the Imperial Japanese Navy green from Tamiya. And wouldn't you know it, when it dries, it's like just about the exact shade of green I was looking for all along. That's a big thing, actually, that's been bothering me for this entire build, is all the variation in the floor color. So yeah, next time for the Bismarck, definitely going to have to pick a floor color and get enough of it so that I can, use it. All over. Anyways, here's me painting up the furniture, giving it its base coat of the brown. Then I'm going to wash the airbrush again, and then I use white. That's for the bathroom fixtures, etc. Use the leveling thinner with the white again, aiming for 50% and about 12 psi. Put the paint I don't use back in the thing, and then clean vigorously. All right. Guess it's time to do a bit of painting with the acrylics. So yeah, that's what I got this guy out here for. And I even got some water too. And a nice, easy to use container as always. That being a soda bottle. It had its soda greedily drank from it. Yeah, I know. It's diet, so I can keep the calories down, but yeah, I am not keeping calories down right now, kids. But that's neither here nor there. So as you can see, I'm brushing on the silver thing, which I intended to use those as kind of range stoves. Didn't quite work out that way. I used one of them as like a bread kneading machine in the bakery area. But you'll see me painting the walls now with a gray color. And I go over it, all the walls, repeatedly pretty well. And that's a lot of this brush work. And then after this, I actually end up with the green paint, the Tamiya paint, which is not great with brush painting on its own, in my experience. You need the leveling thinner for it to be workable with a brush, in my experience. And that's the Mr. Hobby leveling thinner. That's not like any leveling thinner that Tamiya puts out. Not that I'm going to recommend against that. I've never tried it. It's just that I used the Mr. Hobby leveling thinner. It worked, and I'm going to stick with what works. And then, of course, probably off view, just going looking on YouTube for something to listen to while I continue painting. And there we go, paint more and more walls. And of course, I make a mess of the floor a little bit, so that's why I eventually grab that green paint. But not before doing a little thing with that palette. So it's getting kind of messy. It's getting, you know, kind of covered in paint. And that paint messiness actually interfered a little bit with me doing the green painting in the first place, or rather before you see it here. So I take advantage of a little trick I've developed to very quickly clean palettes. Now, I know at least one of y'all, assuming, you know, you've been a constant viewer ever since, has seen this trick. But as a bit of a PSA to those amongst us who have not seen this trick yet, you know, and just to, you know, feel like I'm sounding smart. So yeah, this is covered in aluminum foil. You'll also notice that it's covered in paint. Over time, you know, paint gets things, makes a texture at the bottom of these wells. Things get stuck, eventually stuff gets unused up. Not with that little tweak, it don't. This way I can dispose of the aluminum foil, and I don't have to use as many of these nice, pretty, you know, palette things. And yep, so then I set the new thing up. I press in the aluminum foil, and with that, I go ahead and I mix the leveling thinner with the Tamiya cockpit green, again about 50-50, and that's IJN, which I'm assuming is Imperial Japanese Navy cockpit green. And then I go ahead right next to things. So it ain't all, you know, great and wonderful, but should be good enough to at least start putting down some of these guys, the various bathrooms. And as a sort of treat for those who've stuck it out this far, some of the new music. And also, as you see, I put in the toilets, the various rooms. I put in several storage shelf units. And in this, I'll also be taking the, as you see right there, I go ahead and I make the toilet with the, and I add the blue to represent toilets. And then I go ahead and I add more browns in areas. I dry brush the furniture to kind of help the highlights pop a bit. Because why not? Why would I not do that? You know, for dry brushing, I actually don't thin the paint. I found that to work a little better. The paint sticks better, the paint brushes on better, all that good stuff for the dry brushing. And then I go ahead and I start placing in various places some of those storage shelves that I just mentioned. Some of them I put down on the bench first to get my brush into some of the crevices of them, just to, you know, try to do a better job of getting everything covered. And then in it all goes. And here you see the hard part, which is me adding all those chairs and benches, or tables, to the first the ward room and then to the gun room. And in this you'll also see me, I already did the kitchen, looks like, or the bakery. Then I think about stuff, I'm probably just wondering, what do I watch on YouTube? After an inordinate amount of time just messing around with my phone, I continue adding more chairs and more, you know, tables. I finish it, I guess that was a wardroom annex, and then of course I do the gun room up, and then that's about it for this video. I decided to call it quits so I can have something to show you. Try to make a more weekly time schedule. Alright, hope you enjoyed. Now for the outro. So, we got some good progress here. Wardroom, partially done. I might add some more tables and chairs. Gun room, that's, yeah, I'm going to count that as done. Admiral's galley. I know there's some galleys, a galley over here and some galleys in the ship itself I got to do. But then that's this compartment furniture, and then it just needs people. Alright. As I try to find out what part of this I gotta tighten up. Hold on just a sec, please. There we go. We'll deal with the camera issues live. Alright, so I am Rich. This is I build stuff, and this has been Dreadnought Redux Part 48. Things are starting to finally wrap up, huh? Guess it's time for the standard YouTube dance of like, share, subscribe, hooray! Hey, peace out, and I hope you enjoyed.